Thank you, Peter, for that introduction, and good afternoon, everybody. As Peter's indicated, today I represent the Australian Cotton Shippers Association, ACSA. ACSA is an association of cotton merchants actively involved in marketing and shipping Australian cotton. The presentation I'm going to give today will cover the following: production, the Australian forward market, 2010 crop quality profile and some projections, destination markets and yarn market segments that we are targeting, the Premium Cotton Initiative, and to conclude, a brief look at our Best Management Practices program. I won't have any price information in my presentation. I think that's been covered fairly well by Gwen and also by Stuart, except to say that you know, we've all seen how the wool price has gone up 60% in the last 6 months. The cotton price has actually gone up about 160%, and that's created a number of challenges for our industry, particularly with some of the flood losses in Queensland, but also some real opportunities, and I'll outline them as I go through. So the Australian cotton industry expanded rapidly through the 1990s, but our industry has battled droughts throughout the past decade, and you can see that from this slide. That's what our production profile has looked like. By 2000, we had built an industry with capacity to produce, process and market 3.5 to 4 million bale crops. But look at what we had to deal with in the last decade. Over the last 10 years, the industry has been challenged with persistent drought, low cotton prices, small crops, and as a consequence, overcapacity. The red line in this chart shows average rainfall in the cotton catchments. The green line is the long-term average. The correlation with crop size is very clear. What is also very clear is that this chart demonstrates that following periods of above average rainfall, full water storages provide production certainty for 2 to 3 years. And Gwen's just outlined that in her slide. I was quite surprised at the size of the crops that ABARES got for the next few years. So there's going to be some challenges there for us all, and some opportunities. We're currently anticipating a record production in 2011, a crop of around 4 million bales. With the current record high cotton prices and tight world stocks, we expect the 12 and 13 crop to be also very large. In this situation, the forward market is a very important tool for farmers in times such as this, and I'll outline that as we go forward. Firstly, we'll have a look at yields. Australian yields are increasing at a faster rate than the rest of the world and have been for the past 20 years. Average yields are now over 2,000 kilograms per hectare of 2,000 kilograms of lint per hectare, which is 3 times the global average. Average yields in 2009-2010 were 9.3 bales to the hectare, which is 2,110 kilograms per hectare. Our industry stays competitive by producing the world's highest yields and the world's best quality. The forward market. The forward market for Australian cotton is one of the most sophisticated and robust forward agricultural commodity markets in the world. It is really the jewel in the crown of the cotton industry. Spot prices are available daily. Forward prices are offered to growers for up to 3 years forward, and sometimes more. Merchants offer a number of contract types, including fixed bale, fixed price contracts, on-call contracts, area contracts, balance of crop and pool contracts. There are a lot of marketing opportunities for our growers, and we think that's important because that's what keeps our industry going, and that's what's carried our industry through these tough times. The key to a successful forward market is absolute trust on both sides of the transaction, that contracts will be performed regardless of future market movements. That's the key to the forward market. If we don't have that trust, if either side of the deal is going to run away, we don't have a forward market anymore. Contract sanctity and adherence to ACSA and ICA trade rules is the key to maintaining the integrity of our forward market both here and in the international markets. Market volatility, market inverts, massive margin call requirements place enormous strain on merchants' financial reserves. Just to give you a picture of the changing landscape, the last record crop we had was in 2001, a 3.6 million bale crop. We had 13 active AXA members handling the crop, marketing the crop and shipping the crop out. Today we have 6. Following the extreme market volatility of 2008 and the global financial crisis, a number of long-established international cotton merchants, some which had been around the industry for over 100 years, left the industry, and this has led to significant industry consolidation. Maintaining the forward market is important because it allows growers in times such as this to bank returns for secure water entitlements for several years forward, and as a consequence they can lock in acceptable returns on their farming assets for several years. Just a quick look at the quality profile. Australian cotton has built its reputation about even running high-grade shipments of cotton, and generally we over-deliver on our commitments to our mill customers. Over the past 6 years, Australia has consistently produced crops with more than 70% strict middling colour. This is what our reputation is built on. Continuous improvement in staple length is pushing Australian cotton into the long staple upland category. In 2010, 91% of the crop was 37 staple and longer. Our base staple at the moment is 36, with 2/3 of the crop was actually measuring 38 and 40, thus moving us into the important long staple category. Just to give you another perspective on staple length, it's very important as it allows our cotton to be used in finer count yarns and attracts premiums for our raw cotton. This bell curve indicates continuous staple length improvement in Australian cotton. In 6 years, our average staple length has moved 2 staples from 1 1/8", which is still our base, to 1 3/16 on average. That's a pretty significant move in a short period of time. This will continue because better crop management plus better seed varieties plus better moisture management equals continuous improvement in staple length. Indeed, huge gains were made in 2010. You can see the green line. That's the percentage of 38 staple or 39 staple in our crop. That was a result of new varieties that had been coming through the breeding program that were introduced to commercial production in 2010. This gives us the confidence to predict the future of Australian cotton quality. Current trends, backed by more new varieties coming into commercial production, gives us the confidence to predict that within 3 to 4 years, more than 25% of the Australian crop will be measuring 40 staple or longer. Australia will be a significant producer of genuine long staple upland cotton. We've already coined the acronym ALS, Australian Long Staple, to promote this extra quality that we're getting out of our crop.